can always look at my hair.
Yeah.
Hello, this is not a spring chicken bikinis are, and for everybody that recommends that we get a windscreen out here, well, here's the clue, is we do have a windscreen, and if you look at my hair, well, that's why it's blowing. We do have a lot of things coming for you. In fact, you're going to have to check out our update on the Congress Festival. So for now, this is not a spring check. The bikinis are. Join us on this. Ready now? I know if you look, you might actually see some dolphins out there. We can see them with our eyes. But the big news, of course, is Obama is so great in the polls, even the Republicans approve of him as president and demand his re-election today.
I know. They said, here was the thing. You know, rather, one of the questions, which you know is phony, was asked if you knew that Obama was going to be re-elected, do you think that we should waste the money of holding another election or just confirm him for 6 more years as president automatically? And guess what? The same amount of people that said that they give him his high approval rating exactly matched the amount of people that said there's no need for another election.
Amazing.
But I also pointed out that this was going to happen, that this man has no intentions of leaving office.
Yeah, we were talking about that for a while.
Yeah, but the problem is that while the Associated Press and the company that basically did the survey, which works for the Democratic Party, of course, come up with a 60%, Reuters only came up with a 48% approval rating, and more than half the nation doesn't even want him to run again. So there's a little bit difference between an organization that he has an influence over and one that he has no influence over.
And Obama once again pushing everything but jobs as he mistakes that and attacks Republicans who keep rolling over him.
Well, I know. Basically, Barnyard basically is on his way out because Monday he said that we're going to have to raise the debt ceiling first by another $2 to $3 trillion and then discuss cuts. Well, yesterday he basically got the message from the people, said they're going to throw his ass out of office. I mean, they can basically remove him and put Ryan in his place because they're getting tired of this guy kissing Obama's rear end every other day. So you don't cut you can't cut spending by giving Obama $3 trillion and more money to spend with no cuts in return.
Pakistan's expected to be retaliating after U.S. raid there.
Oh yeah, they outed the CIA people in Pakistan.
They did?
Yeah. But it didn't go anywhere because the Pakistani, the media didn't go along with it. So that ended up as a big mistake for the Pakistanis. Basically, they said the very least that's going to happen is that if they're going to get any money from the United States, they're going to have to clean up the intelligence office. And they don't look at that actually happening. So Pakistan's going to get shut off. There's nobody in Congress except a few people want to give them any more funding. They're just going to get their money from the Iranians now. And Obama inadvertently, effectively ended the Afghan war. So, which they won't think as those people become greater in strength in Pakistan, he will have made no friends in this nation as more attacks are done worldwide because of it.
An appeals court in Virginia hears healthcare cases.
Yeah, I love this. What are the odds of every report, they only got 3 Democrats on the bench. All 3 Democrats were randomly picked to rule on the case, and 2 of the Democrats were directly appointed by Obama, and they believe in Obamacare.
And shortages choke Tripoli as sanctions take hold.
Oh yeah, it's not hurting Gaddafi, but it's hurting the people. They said since Obama got us involved in the thing, over 59,000 people have been killed in the fight. So was it a mistake? Yeah. Is Gaddafi still there? Yeah. Is Gaddafi likely to leave anytime soon? Well, no. Especially with Obama and others wanting him tried for criminal crime. So.
And Indiana Governor Daniels cuts funds to Planned Parenthood.
And this is what's going to happen if you elect a Republican, which is nobody's going to elect him. Instead of concentrating on making the economies grow in these states, the Republican governors that are going to run for the presidency are all going after the social programs that the right doesn't want to have. So
I know.
They also cut, another one I'm getting ready to run, cut all of the money for public broadcasting in the state.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so so they're going after the programs that the right doesn't want, and paying no attention to making the economy work. So,
well, they probably cut it to public broadcasting on the left.
yeah.
And it just put their agenda.
Well, that's right. Because it basically is totally left. There is no conservatives in public broadcasting whatsoever.
And quake so strong it shifted Japan. Towns now flood during the tide.
Yeah, and that's something that it basically lowered the level of parts of Japan. That's not global warming, folks. That's an earthquake that did that. So parts of Japan are getting inundated underwater, not because of global warming, but because of shift in the Earth's crust. And that's not, Al Gore said, well, global warming brought that on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know how global warming has anything to do with seismic activity. It's a volcanic country, been a volcanic country, and Mount Fuji one of these days is going to go kaboom again. It's a dormant volcano. That's all it is.
Speaking of, there was an earthquake this morning in California.
Yeah, most people don't even pay attention to earthquakes in
I
California.
know. Well, it was just a little shake.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother to see how strong it was.
Yeah.
Postal Service reports billions in losses.
Yeah, they're talking about declaring bankruptcy unless the government allows them to they want, okay, here's the trick is, they want the laws changed to charge people for doing emails now. And that every email that you do on your computer, the government will get a penny, get money from it, which means the government will then be into every email account in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said that's got no chance whatsoever. I mean, no matter how much money they give the post office continues to lose money. It was profitable before they start. Okay, they just gave the unions a new contract, folks. They give them more raises, and when you give the people more raises that don't even have to deliver your mail, here's the way it works. As long as the mail is eventually delivered, you can't fire a postal worker.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep. It's the unions are controlling the post office, not anybody else. So.
An FBI arrests Longstock, Puerto Rico militant.
Well, he's only been walking free for years. You know, they knew where he was at, knew what he was doing, but that was no reason to pick him up.
The key role in Bin Laden raid for secret choppers.
No, they weren't. I mean, if there was, they wouldn't have left that thing sitting there. They would have blown it up.
And report up to 44 million more uninsured under the GOP budget.
I know, it's a mathematical impossibility. First of all, none of these cuts take place for anybody that is currently covered. None of them take place. So therefore, it can't affect 44 million people. It affects 0 people. The cuts don't take place for decades. I mean, if you're not born yet, you see no thing. And it will be, I think, 10 to 20 years before any of these things will have an effect on the people that will be born after the cuts are made. So it shows that the Democrats are not serious about cutting anything. Although they did say this morning, their task force has now proved, we can lower the corporate tax rate and will stimulate business. Of course, at the same time, they're raising more taxes. So therefore, they said that while they're taking your deductions away, lowering the corporate tax rate, they're adding more taxes. So that they said not only will this result in a benefit to the Treasury, more jobs will be created by putting more taxes on businesses.
Oh, really?
Some Democrats don't even get that logic. I did hear Pete Conrad this morning said, you're going to lower the corporate tax rate, take all the business deductions away from people, raise taxes in other areas on them, and that will increase their hiring. That was the question mark for the Obama people. They said that was not going to go until after the next election either.
And Navy halts move to allow gay unions by chaplains.
Yeah, because they know that if they get a Republican-controlled Congress, and there's enough people to override a veto, the gay ban is going to be back on again. So.
Taliban announces new military offensive after attempted on stores.
Yeah, because they're all pissed off about the raid in Pakistan. It's why you don't do that. You basically hire you got it. Okay, there's no one on this planet that would have objected to firing a missile into the compound and killing the people. No one. So what do? They stage a foot soldier raid, right across the street from the military academy, which is really stupid.
California, Illinois, and Amtrak are among giving millions for high-speed rail.
Yeah, the rail in California is going to go 9 miles through a wildlife preserve, which means it's never going to get built. And it will cost $1 billion a mile to be built. of which California does not have any money and which they will never get permission to do. But Obama, everywhere that is being built through areas you're never going to get permission to be built through.
Darwin's travels may have led to illness and death.
Well, supposedly he picked up some diseases over there, and it's what killed him. Of course, he was like 90 years old.
Well, he could have died because he was 90, right?
Yeah.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Eventually, if you slip up enough, even those favorable to you in the press will turn against you. It's called the shark in the water situation.